Welcome back to Redbeard RPG and Pillars of Eternity. We're just checking out is this kind of stolen stuff? We're checking out the local tavern. Alright, that does not count as stealing. Perfect, perfect. Lots of villagers about having some drinks. We'll take whatever we can. They're not going to consider that stealing. Let's head upstairs, see what they got up there. We did in the last episode, we acquired a new party member. Very useful. Last one standing buys the next round. What on earth are they doing? Grab a drink, friend. Not much else worth to do in this town, says the woman from Thane. Hey, we said we wouldn't mention Thane. Okay, so they're competing on who has the more boring place.
I'll see what I can do.
Lockpicks required 3. Party lockpicks 4. Do you want to pick the lock? Yep, let's try it.
The work of a moment.
All right, and duelist hat. Oh, that's like a little feathered cap. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Go ahead and take it all. I mean, we used our freaking lockpicks on it. Why wouldn't we? Oh. Crammed behind the books is drawing shadows that shows Orth, Lord, and Lord Rathos in a compromising position. Ooh, a couple more lockpicks. Perfect. All right, so we literally broke even on lockpicks on that deal. Not bad at all. You look like a fighter. As you near, you feel vibrant history concentrated in the essence of this woman's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out for you. Let's reach out to the soul. You see a long, empty road cutting through 2 large crop fields. The air is silent. The land seems too still for early afternoon. This woman walks slowly on the road, leading a horse, curiously looking around. She seems to sense nothing is wrong, unable to discern what it is. She stops sniffing the air, her nose high, her brow crinkles, and she casts about, looking for something. The air is clear, no clouds. She sniffs again, still looking around, confusion clouding her face, mouthing a single word. Fire? She looks across the field, her confusion turning to fear. She holds her hand up to block the sun from her eyes, scans the fields again, not finding what she's looking for. She jumps on horseback, fear quickly becoming panic. She kicks, sending the horse shooting down the path, which bends around some trees where the farmhouse should be. She pulls up short, horror now in residence on her face as she stares, burned and charred mess of what used to be her family's home. Tears well up in her eyes. She kicks again, racing to the rubble. Oh my. It's just the same story? Yeah, it is. Well, dang. I thought that meant she was going to be somebody special. Oh, another one. Feel vibrant history contain the essence of this man's soul. Voices from the past seem to call out to you. You see a man soar through the air, hitting a nearby wall with a nauseating crunch. He doesn't get up. His attacker, burly, clean-cut warrior with a carnivorous grin, turns and shoves his fist into the stomach of another assailant, removing another one from the impromptu brawl. The bar is a whirlwind of elbows and knees, fists and feet, with no end in sight. He's in his element. In the corner, 3 smaller men speak quietly, throwing malicious glances at the larger man in the center. He breaks a chair over a tattooed head, cracking the cackling. The trio position themselves in 3 parts of the room. With a terse nod, they charge. Unfortunately for them, the man sees them coming. Something in his eyes burns brightly. All 3 of them slump on the ground in agony, and that's all in their minds. The burly man bows to the room of unconscious, incapacitated before sauntering off, off-key whistle trailing behind him. That's something else. He got one too? He sure does. Let's check a look at this. You see an emaciated boy in chains, black holes for eyes, staring sightlessly at the wall. A man in a dark coat walks in, scroll and oddly shaped quill in hand. The boy glances at him expressionless, a corpse waiting for animation. The man chucks himself The man clucks at him, disapproval clear in his tone. The boy stands, limbs hanging. The man takes his quill and begins to write on the boy's chest, copying sharp, angular symbols from the scroll. The child doesn't flinch as the quill digs into his skin, drawing blood as it goes. The wizard finishes with a flourish and barks some arcane commands, setting the symbol to glow dully. The boy cries out, knees hitting the stone hard, his chest burning black and red. Finally, the glow disappears, leaving only the black scars etched into his skin. He slumps sideways, twitching, eyes facing the back of his skull. The wizard gaunts, kicking him on the leg on his way out. The boy lies on the floor until dawn, eyes still black like holes, and twitches growing into convulsive shakes. Good grief. That was about as dark as it gets. This the dog? This hound stares intently at the covered window, head cocked, is waiting to hear a particular sound. He looks up when he approaches, whines a low note, tail wagging slightly. Let's see. We obviously want to pet the dog. The dog tail thumps happily against the floorboard. I could use a good dog. Here, girl. The dog's ears perk up and trots over you and barks happily. You've gained the item Black Hound added to the inventory. Okay, so he'd replace my spectral pig, wouldn't he? I think I want to do that. Let's see, where's Black Hound? Yep. And spectral pig will go in the stash. Now we got a little doggy following us. Excellent, excellent. This is a good game. Sign of a good game. You can pet the dog, and then you get to have the dog. All right, here we are. All right, we're back outside. Seems like that was pretty much all the inn had to offer, so we'll go ahead and move along. Are you people doing anything interesting? Nope, they're just chatting each other up, telling stories. They did say we wanted to go back to the murder tree and see the hanged, I forget what word they use, but doctor. This is the one right here, it seems. Calando de Bezzari, the squat, disembodied body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin crooked paw that sags as it tugs at her nose. The bloated purple flesh on her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspenders. Her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from side to side, from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts light on its surroundings, but there's a tepid warmth to it. You feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself, no word, but yet let's reach out. All right, I don't know what this little power I got's called, but that's kind of neat that I can kind of see into people's past. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing your objective as you exhale. You feel yourself spreading out towards the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies beneath you and her new unfamiliar awareness. Once you've expanded enough to reach her, there's a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing electric surge of images, of words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes. You feel yourself being pulled down into some deeper consciousness in the space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, it's staring at you, eyes clouded with milky fog, her body still swaying in the wind. You no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in the misty void. The woman gives you a slow nod of the head, rope creaking as she does, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear? Or have you gotten lost?
I did.
It is both, I think. Yes?
That is kind of the way it feels. I survived a Baywick. Do you know why that could be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Called them. Those days are all behind me, no?
Okay. Alright. Am I imagining this?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy, even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
And how are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I think it is a very good choice.
I need to understand something that happened to me. She nods her head, a look of pity on her face as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there.
That 100% has been happening to me.
You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Okay, can you elaborate on what a watcher is?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair. And here we are, visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on. Some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on, and those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how.
Okay, so this some sort of ancient magic is what you're getting at.
A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder!
Alright, you kind of snuck in all goes well into that description. What do you mean by that? What happens if it goes poorly?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties.
Okay. We've had the trouble sleeping one. I'm more interested in what these other difficulties are.
You should see old Meerwald. He could tell you much more than I.
Okay.
Watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
Alright. You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
And I want to know something about you.
Me? I'll bore you to tears, though.
We'll give it a shot. Who are you?
And here I thought you'd come to visit me in particular. Caldara de Baranzi, of the Valian Royal Academy of Animantic Sciences. Not the greatest of their number, but I came here all the same because this was where help was needed.
Yeah, they seem to change their mind on needing your help here. What happened? She laughs, rasping, choked cackle, escaping between rows of buttery yellow teeth, causing her body to blob up and down with each spasm. Seeing your blank expression, she catches herself.
Oh, come now. Such a question. As though the answer were plain as a rope tied for strangling. Allow an old dwarf her last bit of cheer.
Oh, good grief. Laughing at me over
Well,
that.
I came where I was needed, didn't I? Offered my services to Lord Radric for a pittance. A humble pittance. I was to examine the Lord's wife, see why the gods have seen fit to poison her womb. Studied her for months, looked high and low for impurities, tested her valence, the permeability of her essence. Do you know what I found?
I'm assuming nothing?
Nothing at all. A healthy woman, head to toe, blessed with a beautiful soul. Such a sweet woman, too. Meek, but warm-hearted. A few months' time, and the lord of the house demanded answers. For a time, I told him what he wanted to hear. Oh, yes, my lord. She is riddled with imbalances. I must have time to cure her. As the birth drew near, he grew impatient, as lords do. And this is where I've ended up.
Okay, so you didn't find anything wrong with her, and he was mad about that. That's basically the lesson of this story. What's an animancer?
A student of the soul. Something so basic, yet so poorly understood. But so many breakthroughs have been made in my lifetime. Had been made. Had been. To hear the locals tell it, we're a gang of soul manglers that preys upon the weak-minded. And the worst of us are. But the best of us? The best? Inspirations. Miracle workers. My parents were soul twins. Miserable before they met, empty inside. It was an animancer who helped one find the other. Turned their lives around. You wouldn't believe the stories. Amnesiacs helped to remember their lives. The suicidal brought back from the brink of oblivion. The elderly afforded extra moments to say their goodbyes. How soon we forget when we're afraid.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's a fascinating science. A fascinating time to be alive in a place like Deerwood that does not control the research, no? I love the Valian Republics for many things, but their recent caution will leave them behind, I fear.
Interesting.
Of course, dear.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much. That was very informative, and we have a direction to go now. Not before we check out that crypt we found in the last episode.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Cauldra closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision from some unknown place of wanting. Redbeard gained the Crucible of the Soul. Gained a bunch of XP, nice. You alright? You seemed lost just now. Should I give him all that information? He did join the party, but I don't know him super well. Yeah, I'm fine. That's good, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about. Well, I guess I am telling him I'm a watcher then. I'm a watcher. Well, that's interesting. And I expect this somehow something to do with the hooded figures in the ruins. In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about watchers? Only that they're rare and they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. All right, excellent. Let's head on
17
in.
and a half.
Yeah, now that I got another party member and we can kind of mitigate this dungeon much better. This room, yeah, it had nothing else in it, correct? Let's double check. Creatures did not respawn, which is good. Yeah, we've interacted with everything we could. I saw the dog running around and thought it was a critter chasing us.
Time to see and not be seen.
Go in sneak mode. Alright, so for you, let's transform right away.
Aye?
And what can you do? Arcane Assault unleashes bolt of magical energy from the Grimoire that inflicts raw damage and dazes targets in the area. And he's got dazzling light lights, overwhelm anyone in an area with a brilliant, bewildering, psychogenic display, decreasing their will, leaving them. Fan of Flames creates a cone of fire. Let's see. Sunless Grass. Caster hand becomes so cold that it frees whatever they touch. And Minolta's Minor Missiles. Is that what that says? Summon 3 spelled missiles that batter the target, inflicting crush or corrode damage. Interesting. But for now, I think we're just going to do regular base attack with him. These things weren't all that tough to begin with. Yeah. I don't think we need to do anything extra to take these little
No problem.
little spiders down. More camping supplies, excellent. Okay, can't go that way. And another spider. We'll kind of just do the same thing.
Yeah? Let's go!
Oh, I forgot. After battle, I got to select both people, so I just kind of ran up by myself.
Huh?
I shall be discreet.
I'll make sure there's nothing to interact with this in this room, other than that spider.
Aye?
I am very tempted to just like continuously
Huh?
keep buffing this transformation spell because it is it's oh boy, spirit that it's very powerful is what I was going to say before I got surprised there. Spirit, nearby crystals light crack the mosaic floor, shades of orange, and at certain angles metallic symbol beneath your feet gleams gold. As you look on, the air shimmers with the summer heat. Very dusty air you seem to pull together. Ultra thin glowing mist appears before you. Its rippling gleams sometimes think you can see the shape of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks the movement. The spirit surges all of a sudden, blazing light. And in the next movement, you are somewhere else. Your mind is sailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You're in a chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered, a great crowd spilling into the hall, bodies pressing against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed all the candles, and the room is dark, save for a podium lit from behind. Two people stand before it, lit in a silhouette. A man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says, but the rectrix behind stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you through all the dark times. You feel the hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. The spirit tears itself from you within. Dizzying force, you find yourself back in the ruined altar swaying. The spirit fades as suddenly as it appeared. Okay. What we got up here? Face of the statue. Most of the features struck off portions of its hand. Okay. Wait a minute. Were we able to actually get something off that spider? No. I didn't think so. Let's check this room to the right real quick. It seems like this is the path we're supposed to be going on, so might be some more loot in here, or a Willow of Wisp. And is that a statue? It's almost certain that would be a person.
Aye?
I don't know if physical attacks will work on this guy.
Huh? Let's go!
Okay, we got him. Oh, we did not get him. Now did we get him? Okay. He's like teleported to the other side of me. Alright, and we get spirit residue for that. Alrighty. Let's
Sure.
Oh, he just disappeared. He wasn't real.
Hmm?
So I was wondering why I couldn't interact with him or anything. Oh, there's something here. A loose brick hiding Adra and some copper pan. Yeah, I think pan is like the unit of currency here, I assume. Parchment is worn and tattered, the ink upon it faded. In this time of hardship, we must have just as much faith in ourselves. Okay. So that's just like a little lectern there, or podium, if you will. Nothing special going on. And unfortunately, that is going to have to be the end of the episode. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and have a good one.